Well, what a crucial clash we've got lined up for you tonight. As Eastern Creek take on Quakers Hill Juniors, make no mistake, this one is massive in the context of the season. Past the halfway mark, now every point really counts. And as we established this week on the Blacktown Premier League podcast, there's one spot that 6 teams are vying for. Eastern Creek come into this one with a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde streak going. One week they knock off third place Ponds with a performance full of intensity and intent. The next they're stumbling, a Polonia scoreless draw, Riverston a loss in midweek. They've shown us their ceiling, and when they're on, they are dangerous. But consistency is the name of the game. Consistency is what separates good teams from great ones. So which Creek side shows up today? That is the big, big question. For Quakers Hill Juniors, their opponents, they've got issues of their own to fix. In the last 2 games, they've conceded 8 goals, 4 in each. That's not the kind of defensive record you want when you're chasing a finals berth. Despite that, though, it's actually been a far better season defensively for them compared to last year. As mentioned again on the podcast this week, last year they conceded 3.7 goals at this point of the season. That's now down to 1.6 per game. They've also got really good firepower up top, and they're far harder to break down. But if they give Creek a sniff, they'll find that the Morrow boys will topple them by a lot of goals. Creek love to ride a high wave, that's for sure. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Both sides have dipped into the free agents pool in the last couple of days. There's a few debutants ready to make their mark. For Creek, the reason for that is 6 season-ending injuries, which include star marquee striker Jovan Blagojevic. Nothing could split these 2 teams when they met earlier this season, a 1-all draw. In fact, and I'm sure he won't mind me saying it, when Jules Bombach, the coach of Quakers Hill Juniors, got into his sheds at halftime, there was a mighty loud bang here in the sheds at Blacktown Football Park. To be fair, though, it seemed the hairdryer treatment worked. They fought back to score and, of course, as I said, tie the game. As he again mentioned on the podcast, there were some harsh words in the change room after the final score last week, that 4-1 loss to Doonside coming off the back of 4 goals conceded against Ponds just 7 days earlier. It sounds like, and very explicitly, he expects a whole lot more of this group. But it also sounds like he knows that there is more to give if they play at their best. Funnily enough, sounds a whole lot like their opponents tonight. So what's stopping either team from finding their best form? What's stopping either team from pushing into a good run of form and making it into the top 4? Well, let's find out what they're made of come the second half of the season here tonight. My name is Mark DePoli. Welcome to Blacktown Football Park. Welcome to the match of the round. Laing Simmons Blacktown men's Premier League 1 action. This won't decide the top 4, but hey, you know what? If Creek finish with a point more than Quakers in 4th and 5th place, or Quakers finish with a point more than Creek come the end of the year, then hey, maybe this could be a deciding match come the end of the season. As they walk out onto the pitch, led by Antonio Perello, tonight's centre referee, let's have a look at the lineups, and thank you very much for joining us here tonight. It's a pleasure to have you indeed. For Quakers Hill Juniors, Nick Balcom, formerly, of course, of Tigers, the rivals of this club, the crosstown rivals, and Glenwood, begins in goal. 6'2", does that keeper stand? It's a return to Blacktown Football Park for Sol Surgeon, who has a goal and plenty of controversial moments here. One of the best to do it, having received 11 votes in the referees' votes this year. Number 5 starts at right back. In the middle is Justin Timbos, stepping in for some players that have hit the injury list in the last couple of weeks in Quakers Hill Juniors colours. Next to brand new signing at the start of the season, Zane Owen, fresh from playing, of course, in Spartans first and 21s grade in the last couple of years. Monty Dal Bowl, we'll call him Monty for the rest of the game, has been one of their best players according to their coach at left back, another new signing that joined up this year. It's a defensive duo at the back of the midfield that contains Matty Pombar and Gatsby Gray, 8 and 7 respectively, with the young star who trained with the All-Stars at the start of the year, Daniel Soldan, bossing it as the number 10 on his own in the number 25 jersey. Will Salinas has a match of the round goal at this very venue in the 30 jersey off to the right. Aidan Hughes has plenty of appearances and actually made his starting debut in first grade in a match of the round, did the 23-year-old, coming up on 2 decades of service for the juniors boys. And it's a brand new man, a brand new name up top. Sam Tug Harvey, who used to play youth professional football in Iran, his native home country, makes his debut not just in a match of the round, but for the club tonight in the number 9 jersey. Brad Ryder begins in goal as he did in the last Eastern Creek match of the round at the back end of last year. Of course, helped them progress on penalties against Workers. He's been one of their highest point scorers from referee votes this year as well. Liam Spud Polinsky begins at right back, a man with a match of the round goal to his name and who is truly lethal from corners. Their highest point scorer so far this year, though, is Captain Kurt Matchett, of course, one-time All-Star appearance maker when he was a PL2 player and a one-time Team of the Year PL1 defender next to Cedric Catley-Bond back in a match of the round. At left back is Kurt Elborough, who actually lined up once against Adrian Mijajewski, Christoph Karma, and plenty of other names at the Futsal World Cup. Mitch King is next to Ryan McCluckey at the base of the midfield, as well as that is Andrew Cotton in his match of the round debut, returning after a couple of years out from the game. Liam Hamilton and Pius Baraji will go alongside Alex Murrell, who might push a little bit further forward in the 19, 43 and 45 jersey. Not 100% sure what Eastern Creek's starting formation is. My guess is an actual 4-4-2 with Murrell and King in it, but I'm happy to be wrong. Let's see. There's about 4 wingers / strikers in this lineup, so we'll see how that pans out for them. What we do know is that we're in for a great game. Two clubs that wear predominantly green and sometimes yellow. Eastern Creek love to come to the party, not just at this ground, but in the match of the round. It's going to be a belter, that I have no doubts. I am predicting goals for both teams. I'm predicting slip-ups and mistakes. I'm predicting one belter along the way. But either way, it's going to be a whole lot of fun here on your Saturday nights. With the Club World Cup to go in a couple of hours at around the early hours of the morning. Hey, this is the perfect warm-up for those after a couple of great games on DAZN, of course. But this is the match of the round. This is where anything can happen, and this is truly the best league in the world. So do not go anywhere. And again, thanks so much for joining us here tonight as Eastern Creek with the early possession here tonight. A crossfield switch of the ball searching for Liam Hamilton, who of course scored in the PL2 Grand Final en route to getting promoted for this Eastern Creek side. He's one of the OGs along with the likes of Kurt Matchett, Braden Keating, who'll deputise off the bench. These guys who have been here since Eastern Creek became a Premier League club as Monty Bowl sends it forward. First time that Quakers Juniors have really got on the ball so far in this game. Ball sent it towards the box, cleared away by Zane Owen, who's the most familiar man, at least to this ground right now. What a ball to Liam Hamilton! And he's put it wide. Shooting boots weren't tied up just yet. I don't think he expected that one to fall to him with such simplicity and ease. And in the end of the day, it's gone wide and a big chance goes begging, and the number 19 knows it too. He's picked up 4 goals this year, and it wasn't to be his 5th. As now Quakers Juniors put their foot on the ball for the first time. Looks like Gatsby Gray's dropped into centre half for the moment. It's picked up here by Liam Hamilton, who sends it in towards the middle of the pitch. And he's going to have to close this ball back down up against Monty Bowl. This will be a great watch. 2 quick players with plenty of physicality about them. As Matty Pombard, a one-time All-Star himself, gets on the ball and retains possession. It's first match of the round since the first game he played in 2023. Of course, he didn't feature in round 1 up against Joonside in that win for Quakers Hill Juniors. As forward they come here through Mitch King. Ryan McCluckey, brand new to the match of the round, brand new to the club, his first year for the 23-year-old. Here is the brand new signing up top for Eastern Creek, Tug Harvey. Gatsby Gray with those long, luscious locks sends that out wide. No Luca Gallo in the side, of course, no Ryan Marchant, as was discussed on the podcast this week. Looks like Gatsby Gray is occupying the centre half role in possession. Salinas has come central here and squares it to Pombard, who's dancing right on the halfway line, is able to evade the press of Alex Murrell just there, who is technically a midfielder, at least if you were to have him on FIFA. But it looks like he's occupying a really high space. In fact, he was the furthest player forward out of possession of the ball just then. Stolen back here by Mitch King. Not the only Mitch to potentially play some minutes tonight. Mitchy Hinton is back after 8 years out from an ACL tear. Not sure why it took him so long to get back among the swing of things. Polinsky sends it back in towards the centre to Cedric Catley-Bond, who of course took a year out, did the 26-year-old, and then came back towards the midway point around this time actually of last year. Zane Owen under pressure finds Gatsby Gray, and then Gatsby of all people gives it away. He said he played one of his worst games ever as a striker against Eastern Creek earlier in the season. Gatsby Gray is a guy who has scored a reserve grade grand final goal here back in 2022, so he knows what it takes to appear when the cameras are on. Aiden Hughes drops back. Used to play as a wing-back when Quakers started in the back five system last year when they lost a lot of their players and sort of went back to the drawing board a little bit. Nice touch here by Daniel Soldan, such a technically proficient player. Sent forward by McLucky, I do believe. Hughes tried to dance away from him, but it's been read well, and it drops back here to Polinsky, then drops it into Cedric Catley-Bond, who you might be able to cast your mind back to the 2022 season when they got promoted from 2 Division to 1st Division, that he actually made in the grand final one of the most memorable slide tackles I think I've ever seen down the right-hand side of your screen, or down the right-hand side of the pitch if you like. As Quakers, forgive me, as Eastern Creek went on to win that grand final by a plethora of goals against Prospect, who had been their promotion rivals all year that season. 5 minutes into this one, no chances really created yet outside of the one for Liam Hamilton, which he might be ruining. If anything, there's anything to go by between these two teams, it's that you're either going to get a very small amount of goals or a lot of goals. A 1-1 earlier in the season, but there's also been a 6-2 in the first half of the draw in 2024. But later in the year, it was only 1-0 to Junior. So to lose 6-2, then to bring it back to 1-0, it's either going to be a lot of goals or not a lot of goals. Very rarely is there not action between these two. Only had a couple of games against each other in the history of the Premier League, of course. A reminder as well to please leave your live chats in the Facebook stream. That's where I actually do have my computer open to watch the game simultaneously. That's where I'll be able to check what the scores are from around the ground, and we can give some table updates. My eye instantly goes to the PL2 top 2 clash between Town Rangers and Newbury. It is critically important. Those two teams on the exact same number of points. We want to know exactly what's happened there. Could be critical in the promotion race, especially what's happened in reserve grade as well. I am getting confirmation, though, that Minchinbury, off the back of a bye, have beaten Glenwood 4-3. What an incredible, thrilling game there. Marion have beaten Polonia 2-0 in a return to form, at least for them, it seems, on the score sheet, after a couple of poor weeks. Big game tomorrow, Tigers versus Doonside. Both teams in really, really good form, and that's proven to be a grudge match. So if you've got some time, go and watch that one. At Glendenning Reserve, I do believe it is. So a left-footed corner as the ball finally about to be back in play. Eastern Creek with the first set piece. We know how good they are from them. And that's gone out for just a goal kick, but they did get their noggin to it first. That's a significant chance there. A significant chance that's gone wide. Still awaiting the goal kick. Timbos, who against Parkley a couple of years ago, actually I'm going to interrupt myself because the ball been put over the top towards Salinas. Match it, trying to hold him off. Ball inside towards Soldan. Now it drops into the new men on debut. What a story it would have been. And out here to Hughes. Never scored a match of the round goal before. And came oh so close. Oh so close. On what is his 6th match of the round appearance. Wow. Had an absolutely perfect angle at that. Spud Polinsky, I'm sure he'll get a chance from the corner at some point, but I believe it was Ryan McLucky in the 34 jersey who got it from that corner a couple of moments ago. Gatsby Gray read that with consummate ease. Red boots, easy to identify. Poor pass, though, picked up there at left back. Nice turn and retaining of possession there by McLucky. And Cedric Catley-Bond gets those long legs moving and then sends it to absolute no man's land. Soul Surgeon will have the easiest shield of his life against Pius Baraji, who scored the opening goal in this fixture when these two last met. Would you believe me if I also told you that he scored when they beat Juniors 6-2? Aiden Hughes. Leaves it for Monty Boll, who has a goal to his name this year. A good tackle there by Liam Hamilton, the right winger, doing some defending. Again, that is not a political statement, that is a fact about his position on the pitch. Sorry, jokes. Just so from one side of the pitch to the other, it's delivered in. It's a really good ball, but there's absolutely no one attacking it. Where are you, Quakers juniors? Perfect ball at the front post. Matty Pomba pops it forward. Gatsby Gray, his midfield general partner. Here to Soldan, who leaves it for Zane Owen, has picked up 10 goals and assists across both grades, including in 21s as well this year. Brand new signing to brand new signing. Monty Boll now. Gatsby Gray never really looked like scoring from that far. Unhappy with the runners around him, it seems. 10 minutes into this one. Another big result coming from the PL2 World. Prospect 2 over Parkley 1. It just seems like no one in PL2 wants to put a promotion push in. Absolutely inconsistent. Week on week on week, each team beats each other. It's kind of like the top 4 race here in PL1. It is one of the most magical years across both divisions of Blacktown Premier League football we're likely to ever have, and let's hope we get that until the final whistle of the season. First significant foul of the game, I do believe. It's a bit of a push off the ball, which Pombart will happily take. That won't leave him with sore joints tomorrow, just a simple fall over. So now, 27-year-old into his 11th year of service in Quakers Hill colours, despite the fact he split that with plenty of NPL stints and a stint as well in Queensland, where he dipped for a couple of years as well. Goodbye by Brad Ryder, the left-footed goalkeeper, sends that long down the pitch. What a moment. What a weapon that is. And now, twisting, turning, and sending it out wide. Delivered into the middle and cleared away. And sent away more comprehensively this time. Easily dealt with by Matchett, who was for so long a flying fullback, now into his very, very early 30s, preferred through the middle. Was always a really good reader defensively, but probably less inclined to use his left-footed whip these days. Back in the 2022 season, he picked up 8 assists from the corner alone. This will run nicely for Spud Polinsky. Ball into the box, right in the penalty spot. Hints of a handball, cleared away by Timbos, who, by the way, I'm going to inform you that a couple of years ago against Parkley, in the one game, he scored a Rabona and a halfway line goal. So if he scores a screamer tonight, you can expect him to also notch another one, at least history tells us. Long throw-in coming in over Hamilton, flicked on there by Andrew Cotton as well. Formerly of Prospect Mounties and Camden Tigers NPL sides. Back to club football now for the now 27-year-olds as Matchett clears, and then it came off a Quakers player, and now it's going to be an Eastern Creek throw. Teetering towards the first 6th of this game being complete. If you want to break the game up into 6 pieces. And I can't necessarily say that one side has been better than the other, but if I had to pick one, I would say those in yellow have probably looked the better side. We do know that Quakers Hill Juniors are arguably the best coached side in the team. At least that's what the votes tell us year on year. So you can expect Quakers to come into the game at some point. Maybe a little tactical tweak will come in and make that kind of influence. Monidal Boll, just 23 years old. I wouldn't be surprised if he's actually a winger by trade, but must read the game well enough to deputise at left back. There's an injury here. Oh no, I didn't even notice it. To Liam Hamilton down right on the D on their attacking box. He's trying to make his way back to his feet. He's had a horrid string of injuries in the last couple of years, pretty much since the promotion push. He played essentially every game of the PL2 season back in 2022, and since then he's just struggled, especially in match of the rounds. He has torrid luck. concern for a team that's already been plagued and nagged by injuries so many times this season. It's such a shame that we're seeing what we're seeing right now. Hopefully he picks himself back up. He has. Well, a little break in the game. What kind of momentum shift could this bring about? Sometimes when you have an unforced break, one team just snaps into focus, one team snaps out of it. Who knows? So who's going to get this ball back, Antonio Perello? Gatsby Gray. Lumps forward. Well, one there and read by Cedric Catley Bond. ZCB, which sounds like a German speaking English trying to say the centre-back. ZCB. Great touch! Tahavi on debut. Not really in a goal-scoring position. Wants to steer it into the box. Second bite of the cherry here. It's gone high and away from the danger area. Gatsby Gray retains possession. Monty Bowl goes back. Seems like their momentum kind of out the window, but they've still got the ball here. Pomba. Soul Surgeon scored from here in a match of the round once before. That one was blocked off as he tried to penetrate the line with a pass in behind. Salinas had it taken off him. We'll shield this out for a corner. Indeed it will be. Decision made there by Jack Leitner, who's on that far side assistant referee. Michaela Cuevas, still a teenager, this near side referee. Ball delivered in towards the front post again and again. No green jersey there. It's a yellow one to intervene. This is Soul Surgeon, one of their highest votes receivers this year. Tahavi away. Lovely little flick there, I think, by Murrell. And Hambo Hamilton is quick. And when he gets in a straight line, he's even quicker. Can he cut back and find Pius Baraji, who's barely touched the ball all night, I should say. Picked up here by McLucky, just inside the halfway line. Alex Murrell, arguably their best player. Spud Polinsky gives the ball away. Gatsby Gray, here we go. In fact, Spud Polinsky and Gatsby Gray are good mates off the pitch. Now, he's giving it away, tries to cut inside the CB. And it's Cedric Catley Bond who wins it back. McLucky has his pocket picked. Gatsby Gray 1-2 with his defensive partner in midfield. McLucky makes amends. That was nothing lucky about that. That was his hard work. Junior's back on the ball. Of course, it is of the Eastern Creek boys who are sitting in that fourth place spot right now. So you could argue it is theirs to lose this season. Offside flag should be raised. Here it is. On that far side, that was pretty clear from the moment he received the ball. Good holding on the line there by the Eastern Creek folk. Logan Van Klooster off the bench, another centre-back option or even full-back option. There's no Mitch Tritton as well, who's such a hard runner at the base of the midfield or can really be solid. In centre-back too, there's of course no Ryan Marchant, so there's some real absentees. And centre-back Connor May, the biggest one though, had to rush off to the dentist on the night of filming the podcast. Wanted to get him involved, but he had to pull out, unfortunately. So, medical halt in his season. Surgeon wins it out of the sky, puts it out for a throw. Pretty long throw in there towards Pius Barrage. You want to see the man who has 2 match of the round goals to his name for Eastern Creek involved a little bit more. That also includes one that happened in the semi-final. I should say quarter-final, technically. Lovely passing here by Creek until Q gave it away. That's done by Matty Pombart there. This goes back to Nick Balcon, who outside of goal kicks hasn't touched the ball all game. Square pass into Pombart, who of all people can't ride the challenge Chance here, big chance here. They've struggled to score all season, but this might be the moment, Hamilton. A touch off a green jersey means it technically isn't his fault, but another one goes begging. Great defensive scurry there at the back, I think, by Timbos. Just wide. For both these two teams, their top goal scorers have relatively low numbers of goals. He featured on the podcast this week for Quakers. It's Rowan Iski, still a teenager. 21's eligible, of course. He's got 4, but 3 of them he picked up in one game. Ball towards... right on the goalkeeper's mark and over. And over, but just by Alex Murrell, who's hurt himself too. Luckily, he's okay. Top goal scorer for Eastern Creek is actually Kurt Elbra, who's at left back today as Aiden Hughes wins a challenge there. You can hear the clicking of ankles. 20 minutes into this one. Ponds with the bye this week. So a chance for Eastern Creek to put just a couple of points, a couple of inches between them. Here comes Pius. Twisting, turning is Pius Baraji. That's better from him. He's so quick. Salinas has great technical ability. That was an offside. Very close, Quakers. Very, very close. "20 minutes into this one, chances at either end, the best ones coming from the head twice of those in yellow. At what point will that classic corner tactic work? Catley Bond. Cotton turned into danger. Pomba is there. Soldan must play it quickly. Tahavi is there. Picked up by Hughes. Bit of a kerfuffle on the edge of the box. Still trying to clear it. Again, he can't. Cotton needs to be done a bit more comprehensively, which in fact, it was done by Zedric Catley Bond. Nice turn there by Justin Timbos. He's capable of doing freakishly cool things with the ball. Continues on his run though. This will be easy for Matchett to shield all the way through to Brad Ryder. He's only playing in, I think, his second or third year as a goalkeeper. He was a left-sided flanker, either left back or left wing, for much of his career. Still just 23 years old. Former Winstow Premier League representative as well, Brad Ryder. Left-footed, left flank, but now he's preferred with the gloves on. Here's another lefty, Matchett. Penetrated pass to Pius Baraji is exceptionally good. Oh, Baraji got it wrong badly. Back to Surgeon for Quakers as they try and get out of this creek press long ball. Well, that's kind of un-Quakers-like. Quakers have been known to produce comebacks. At least this season, they've been pretty capable of making adjustments in-game. See, they discussed that on the podcast. Also capable of conceding a heap of goals when they switch off. I think back to the Rivo comeback a couple of years ago and then steered towards goal by Andrew Cotton, whose last game before 2 years out from football was an NPL semi-final versus Nepean. Actually has more red cards than goals and assists in his career, which tells you about his positioning, although he's been quite close towards goal a couple of times tonight, so maybe that'll shift around. If he grabs a goal, an assist, yeah, sure, but a goal in particular, I'm sure there'll be some great celebrations. He's also pretty local to here. He's a Blacktown City Council worker, so he's pretty familiar with everything around these parts. Oh, great feat there by Gatsby Gray, but gave it away. Square pass to Machut from his centre-half partner. King drops in to bounce back to match it. Moving a little dangerously, but he's pretty composed. He's the now captain. Return to the technical area in the match of the round for Matt Hetrick, who was a finals specialist. Got promoted and under his tutelage won the reserve and first grade grand final, both against Prospect at this very ground before dipping away for a couple of years now. Welcome back with open arms according to all of his players as well, which is awesome. Having to replace a man who was very widely respected in this competition, Danny Hinton. NPL experienced coach, stepped away for personal reasons, as being, I think, career opportunities elsewhere. Hey, if you can steer this team into the finals, currently, of course, we're sitting, of course. His final pedigree, that is Matt Hetrick's finals pedigree, is to be feared if you're an opposition team. And Eastern Creek have come so close a couple of times as Tehavi wins it out of the sky. Wani Dalbong. He's that Sudanese background. Actually was playing in the USA for 3 years. Hill College. Prior to that, he was a Spartans youth rep. Issue here for Ryan McLucky, his first ever match in the round, so I don't want him to feel like he has to go off. It'd be a shame to lose him. We're trying to learn what he's all about. Ryan McLucky. It would be rather unfortunate for McLucky if he had to go off. He looks like he's alright. He's already scanning again. Here he is receiving the ball and giving it away. Salinas was playing as a left winger when he picked up his match of the round goal at this very venue. Gatsby Gray scored down the right-hand side of the pitch. It was down the left-hand side of the pitch, though, where they found their goal provided by Gatsby Gray, as Salinas sort of forced an own goal when they beat Doonside in round 1 of the year. One of only a couple of wins this season as we tick past the halfway point of it. Timbos, 23 years old now. I remember when he was a sprightly 21s representative back in the day. He's a finance bro from Monday to Friday. And a pretty good utility coming the weekend. Loves to pass out wide towards Soldan. Little grab of the jersey there. Really lacking any significant chances in this game besides that one in the opening moments that fell to Hambo Hamilton. It's not been the most entertaining of match of the rounds just yet, but I've got a feeling this one will grow. Only ever in the last 5 years of match of the rounds, only ever 1-0-0 draw. There is always, but once, always a goal, at least. Lovely technique on that pass. Of course, under no pressure, but still showing great ability to find Zedric Catley Bond. Alex Murrell, who played against Adelaide United at Cooper Stadium when he was a Royal Defence Force football team representative. Has plenty of NPL experience, came in halfway through last year and absolutely started bossing midfields week on week. Picked up a couple of goals as well, converted his penalty in the semi-finals. That's an awkward ball back to Ryder if they can press him hard here. Real hard! Chance for Tehavi. He didn't get it out of his feet. Hughes went for the selfish option. What a waste. Sorry, Hughes. That had to be a more composed moment because Ryder got back onto his line. So either you had to turn into prime Raja Nangolan to get the top ends. You should have passed to one of your free options either side of you. Chance missed, maybe the best chance of the game, or at least since Hambo's. Into touch, into the Quakers technical area, to be exact. Shouldn't win for Quakers juniors in reserve grade, but to be fair though, in what has been an injury-ravaged squad, Eastern Creek haven't had the best of showings in reserve grade. pretty much since they got promoted, they haven't had a real great reserve grade team, to be fair. This year, no exception. McLucky gave it away. Gatsby Gray past Pombart, past McLucky. Cuts back past McLucky. Sends it central towards Salinas, sliding in. It was Cotton. Out wide, Hughes. Second bite of the cherry, Hughes! Punched away with two hands by Wright. I think he wanted to claim that. Still that long-awaited first match of the round goal for young Hayden Hughes will go on.
Go Creek!
Go Creek. Now, the first corner that was hit from this section was absolutely perfect. What on earth is going on here? Well, he'll get a second bite of the... Oh, he's giving the ball away, forgive me. That's my view being interrupted. Ball delivered in. Was the front post again. That was better attacking intent. Cleared away by Pius Baraji. Zane Owen there. Two young'uns coming together. Cotton stepping in. Excuse the French on the sideline. Sol Surgeon in a more comfortable left-back position. That's where he made his first ever match of the round appearance. Clearly a foul. And now the set-piece specialists are going to have to defend one themselves again. One earlier in the season. This is looking like it might be a closely fought 1-2. 30 minutes into this one, as Quakers are slowly building back into it. Gatsby Gray, who was heavily involved in Quakers Junior's only match of the round goal so far this year, involved again, plays it. Bit limp, sent away, cleared by Matchett it was. Sliding in with Salinas, picking it up is Catley Bond. Good pass, real good pass. McLucky, but Bowl is far too quick. Although he's living dangerously, but he's obviously quite dangerous himself. Gatsby Gray. 26 years old now, has deputised through every position in the spine. 10, 8, 6. 3 and 4, and of course 9. Any position through the spine he's played. Very rarely ventures wide. So strong. That's lovely work. Down he goes. So Zane Owen, who spent much of his career as a striker and had a pretty good goal-scoring record as a Quakers Hill junior before he headed off to the NPL space here at Spartans, was for so long a guy who was such a good back-to-goal striker. And in that moment there, he used all that NPL experience to win a free kick in a real dangerous area. Now, I tell you what, on the podcast this week, this man here said he was going to score a free kick. Will he bring his prediction true? Well, this would be sensational. Gatsby Gray standing over it. Said he'd score a free kick in midweek. Here's his chance. It's Gatsby Gray over the wall, and it's palmed away by a rider. Solid save. Not the most powerfully struck free kick, but very well placed nonetheless. Now he rides in short to receive from the corner. It's not going to go to him. Delivered in. Floating ball. Cleared away Cotton. Daniel Soldan has smashed in the first goal with real venom. That is a belter with technique of the highest order by Soldan, whose first ever match of the round goal, as he tries to snag and concrete a first grade position, has just made a real good case, and a real good case for Quakers Juniors to finish in the top 4 this year. What a strike! What a strike at the front post. And 1-0 it is to Quakers, who in the last 5 minutes have started to switch it on a little bit, and they've been rewarded thanks to some individual brilliance. Pius Baraji straight from kickoff, blocked. Awkward. This is a little bit awkward. Malcolm, strong hands. What a finish. Well, we knew the kid was good when Julian Bombach called him up to train with the All-Stars at the start of the year. And I tell you what, he didn't just hold his own, he was pretty damn good. Now he introduces himself to the match of the round crowd with a goal. And a big goal too, and a really good goal. Cotton, and this game has just sprung into action. Where is Junior's defence? A chance, maybe too much time to think about it. Oh my word. Murrell, of all people, dilly-dallied, and then he's sent to the floor. What a moment. This is heating up straight away. In fact, he actually gives away a free kick. This is brilliant to watch. Quakers juniors are going to slow things down here. I'm not surprised by that. They've just taken the ascendancy in the match. Now they want to make sure that they don't concede a silly goal. You're at your most vulnerable when you have just scored. Closing in on half-time, just about 10 minutes on the spot to go. I can't imagine there'll be much added on unless that changes for some reason in the next 10 minutes or so. Juniors letting Eastern Creek know all about that one. Throw in taken Soul Surgeon. Pombard. Beautiful. Senior figures linking up. To Harvey. Aiden Hughes. It's a day for maiden match of the round goals. Maybe his will be next. Picked up 6 goals and assists this year across all grades. Oh, what a coming together that was. Soldan's just been floored for taking the lead. It looks like, for the time being at least, Zane Owens dropped to right back. Soul Surgeon's dropped into centre back. Never seen him play there personally. He's always been a flanker or a central midfielder. Gatsby Gray winning it out of the sky. Beautiful. Central run here by Mitch King. Flick on was good towards Polinsky, but Bowl read it well. Polinsky in hard. Giving away a goal kick though. Less than 10 to go now. In the first half, that's provided a goal. Belter. Apparently, St. Pat's have beaten Oakville 2-0 in a crazy game there. Still waiting on Newbury versus Town Rangers confirmation as concerns instantly here for a player down clutching his face. Physio called. Second grab of the head for an Eastern Creek player. Of course, he's being consoled by Kurt Matchett, who in this fixture earlier in the season had his nose broken after he was fell on by an Eastern Creek player. The captain goes over to check on his mate. And now again we have a momentum break. So now we will get some added on time before the end of this half. And as juniors who go over to the technical area to hear from the wise words of their coach. It's Mitch King who's down in that 51 jersey. What's being discussed over there in juniors? Of course, young Lockie McGavin's the youngest assistant coach in the Laing Simmons Blacktown Men's Premier League 1. He'll be involved in the conversations too. Apparently, according to what he said to me, he is the Nicholas Yova, to reference Arsenal, set-piece coach of this Quakers juniors team. back in play. Looks like Salinas. It is Salinas. Eastern Creek might be currently down a player past Elborough. Poor cross. I think Eastern Creek are down a player right now. Yes, they are down a player, so somebody going to come back on, or at least back on, or to replace Mitch King. It looks like Braden Keating. So unfortunately, it's an early end for Mitch King. That's a real shame. On comes Braden Keating, though, who, allow me to be a little biased, is one of my favourite players ever to have played in Blacktown live streams. Absolutely love the way he approaches the game, his attacking intent, and his ability to play match of the round moments like that. He's put a ball through to Pius Baragi. Oh my word, nearly the greatest own goal of all time. Where on earth was Zane Owen putting that? Oh. Holy smoke. Look at this upon replay. In fact, it was Soul Surgeon who's nearly scored an own goal, forgive me. Braden Keating as well, happy to say, just recently got married as well. The now 29-year-old was just 24, which is what I'm turning next week. When we first started doing these match of the rounds, when he was a PL2 player, a goal of the week winner at this very venue as well. One of the Blue Mountains crew who followed Hatch and Hinton and all them to Eastern Creek. It's Polinsky. Has such an injury-ravelled last couple of years, has Braden Keating, but here he is. Genuinely, I think he's an underrated player. Such an underrated player. I might do a podcast at some point this year and talk about the most underrated player from every team. You know, I might do that. Tussle for the ball here. A lot of time here for Murrell. Has had it taken off him though. Chance here for Creek to Harvey. Finds Gatsby Gray, still adjusting to his new teammates. Those two are friends off the pitch though, so you can see why they're happy to share the ball. Sliding challenge evaded by Gray, would have gone down, would have won a yellow card against the other team. Gatsby Gray central here to Matty Pombar. Clipped wide. Monidal Bowl. Bowl goes back to Preston Timbos. In the back line of a 23-year-old, a now 26-year-old, and a 22-year-old who's ventured his way into the box. Ryder saves at the near post. Interesting to see what Zane Owen's role is in this team. He's a fullback, he's a centre-back, and sometimes he's a striker. Braden Keating wasn't supposed to start this game. In fact, in any game here, he's all first because he's been dealing with a tight groin as well as a bruised intercostal muscle. And his ribs are allegedly pretty cooked too. But he's a baller, so I hope he can put up with it. So I haven't seen him in a match of the round for so long. Oh, wins that. Picked up here by Spud Polinsky. First ever time I've seen him playing outside of the spine of the defence. Liam Hamilton, what a challenge! Sniffed away by Gatsby Gray. He's having one of his best match of the round games ever right now. That's what long hair does to you. Majestic looking, majestic in the challenge. What a quick slide, a little step over here by Pompart. Competing to keep this ball in. Was it? Well, they're going to have a throw in to defend here. Very, very deep. Creek could really box them in here as they search for a way back into this game with 90 seconds left to go before we head into injury time. away. Salinas missed it. Haven't seen the best of him just yet. Pius Baraji, a chance to stretch his legs perhaps. Poor pass. Soldan, the current man who splits these two teams, intervened. Zane Owen. Soldan flicked it to a yellow jersey, not what he wanted there. Tejavi not happy with what he received. Square pass from centre back to centre back between Creek. Looking for a 100% finals making record since coming up from the second division. It would be quite the thing. We've seen very clearly in the last couple of years what being promoted can do. Polonia struggling this year, Tigers struggling this year. Prospect went down, of course. Eastern Creek have really led the way. Oh my word! Oh my word! Matchett might have his day done here. Well, he's got enough of the ball to justify not getting a red. Wouldn't be mad if he had of. It looked like a big tackle. It was. It's probably the biggest tackle of the entire season. And hopefully everyone's okay. We're still 11 v 11. But oh my word, that was a challenge and a half. And he's got enough of the ball to not have a 15-year suspension next to his name. Because if he'd have got that wrong, oh. Wow. Holy smoke. As someone who prefers the full function of my legs, that was hard to watch. I'm going to watch it back now on YouTube where you can actually scroll back, unlike in Facebook where you can't. So a loose touch by Matchett. Wow. You know what? Ugh. I mean, I can't say that I read the rule book that gets updated every single season from fine print to fine print, cover to cover. But the follow-through of the raised studs raises a concern for me, personally. And I think Matchett, considering he did get the ball, I get it, but very risky challenge. I would suggest he's lucky to be on the pitch. Beautiful ball delivered over the top. If you want to have a look at it, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching on Facebook, which is where most of you do. Go and watch it back on the YouTube stream. Make your decision. Let me know in the comments what you think. We can talk about it after half-time. Argument over whether it's a throw or a corner. It's been given as a throw. Salinas. Picked up here by Braden Keating. Well done there by Gatsby Gray, my player of the match so far. That's enough time in this first half. A first half which has given us a goal. Maybe should have given us a red card too, but either way, the last 20 minutes or so have been hella entertaining. I have thoroughly enjoyed what these two teams have given us. Daniel Soldan's exceptional strike about halfway through this half separates these two teams. But the bigger talking point outside of the goal, I'd say it's a bigger talking point than the goal, is the challenge we've just seen on the 45th minute there. You let us know what you think, and we'll talk about it after half-time. But right now, it's Quakers Juniors looking to revitalise their finals push. Don't go anywhere. This game is getting good. was a red card for Greek captain Kurt Matchett for that horrendous challenge there right in front of the half-time whistle. Eastern Coast are in fact down to Camp Shade across the red carpet. And to give a bit more of a thorough explanation as to why the referee was let go, 17-year-old referee, 5-year-old referee, Brendan O'Shea, who was Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second half between Quake and Quakers Hill Juniors. Of course, now I do want to provide some context and an update. It was in fact a red card to Creek captain Kurt Matchett. And to do a bit more of a thorough explanation as to why Antonio Perella, the centre referee, was left with no choice, I'm joined tonight by 17-year-old budding junior referee Brendan O'Shea, who's here to explain why that was the case. Brendan, first of all, welcome to the podcast. Hope you're to the live show. Welcome here to the commentary booth. Hope you're enjoying yourself. That was 2 feet raised. Antonio was really left with no other option there, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's lunged in 2 feet off the ground. He's making contact with the lower shin. Any day of the week, that should be red card, and he's done well there tonight.
People will watch that back and be able to see the 2 feet were raised, lunging in, didn't actually get the ball. There's absolutely no way it could have been anything else, correct? It wasn't contentious?
There was no way he could shade away from it. It was imminent. And he knew it as he was walking off as well. He accepted it, walked on.
Looks like both teams, the referee team and some bystanders, are happy with the decision. Brendan, thank you so much for joining me here on the panel tonight, as Eastern Creek have nearly gone down by 2 there. It was Gatsby Gray who came so close with his own head. He's had a blinder of a game so far. Brendan, thanks so much for joining me here tonight. I really do appreciate your contribution.
Tonight, Mark.
That's okay, my friend. You too. Well, there's a more thorough explanation, one a bit more dedicated to the rule book that I definitely cannot give you, but Brendan O'Shea, the most minutes of any referee in Blacktown last year. I'm sure he's on track to retain that record. The youngster is going to be one of the great referees as he continues on his journey. But said straight away, once I asked him, Antonio Perella was left with absolutely no choice there. So, certainly no way. Oh, hang on, we have a Newbury update. So Newbury 2 and Town Rangers 2. That is a big result. As Tahavi puts one over, and Eastern Creek, I'm not sure that they've replaced anyone at the back because they're completely open in this second half. And this game is about to roll away from them if they're not very careful. What is going on? Apparently there's no sound. Think you can now hear us, ladies and gentlemen. We are certainly now back. Hopefully all is good. Gatsby Gray picks it up. Creek trying to build some sort of possession. They're going to have to do it without all 11 of their players here tonight in this second half. Soldan picks it up. Quakers Juniors with the early ascendancy. I'm not exactly sure when our sound came back. I've been told that apparently we had a bit of a quiet spell on air. Apologies for that, but in case you weren't able to hear, we actually just had Brendan O'Shea, 17-year-old referee, confirm that the red card to Kurt Matchett, the Creek captain, was in fact a 100% certainty of a decision. It had to be made as Kurt Elbra bundles down this near side touchline. But yes, he deputised on the mic tonight to give a bit of an insight as to what the referees thought of the decision, and it was certainly the correct one, we've been told. So unfortunately, that might have not come through the mic, but that was what was said by Brendan O'Shea. Now, apparently you can now hear us, and we're back. We're back. Chance here to Harvey on debut. Offside flag raised, and he swung and missed at the ball there. Eastern Creek have not got enough players back. They're almost playing with a back three at the moment, and they've not made any subs since the red card. They're going to go on with what they've got. Gatsby Gray, been the player of the match for me. Forward goes Justin Timbos, searching ball to find him, flag raised. Upset he is, but he's also offside. Huge match in the PL2 promotion push. Town Rangers and Newbury, 2-all draw, could not be separated. A red card in the mix too. Away by Bradley Ryder. This Creek back three being stretched. Salinas, this is Quakers Junior's game to win right here. Bowl leaves it for Gatsby Gray. Goes for the Ozil scoop. Picked up there. Baraji, furthest player forward, looking for Keating on his left-hand side. Goes shorter instead to McClucky. Now inside by Keating towards Baraji again. Pius sends it out wide now for Braden Keating. One-time goal of the week winner. Oh, went for the flip-flap, exceptional. Handball was the claim. They're going to shout, they're going to yell, but he's not going to give it. It's not the first time that Soul Surgeon has had a handball claim against him in this pitch. You might remember when he made an absolutely incredible touch off of his knee that then hit his hand and correctly wasn't called as a no handball against Doonside earlier in the season, which is why Doonside don't sit top of the table right now. Some might point to that, but it was in fact the correct call. As this ball comes in towards the front post! Creek, it's only a one-goal game. They might be down by one, but they only need one. Up in the sky, Kahabi went for a clearance. Free kick on the edge of the box. Wow. It is literally the cusp. Right on the edge of the 18-yard box for a chance to get back in this game. Kurt Elbra scored one of the great Creek goals in club history in a match of the round a couple of years ago. He's represented Australia on the biggest stage. He goes for the free kick, goes for the glory and sends it over the bar. Chance goes begging. Keating. Salinas does so well. Zane Owen now playing as a right back. Was he onside there, Salinas? It won't matter because on we go. Soldan going to continue on his run. He's looking for a brace. Salinas still on the edge of the box, kind of not on the right angle for a shot just yet. Goes for the steered pass inside. It was cleared away. Gatsby Gray again involved. He's going to find his way through somehow. Still Gatsby Gray looking for a foul. Didn't get it. Pius Baraji's quick. So is Soul Surgeon. This will be good to watch. Here's Pius now. Slows down his momentum. Couple of step overs. Soul stepped in great. Well done there by Surgeon. Salinas, easy pass forward, not enough defensive numbers here. Clear yellow card. Not going to give it. He's given a red. He's not going to reduce them. So that was a yellow. For all money's worth. Gatsby Gray, lovely dink. To Harvey is there, easy save for Ryder. Pius, barrage into the box off his noggin. Oh, missed it. Away by Bowl. Challenge in the air. Right on the spot where a red card was given earlier in the game. "11 minutes into this second half, and somehow, despite being down one player, Eastern Creek probably looking the more solid of the two teams. Although that earlier chance for Gatsby Gray off his own forehead was probably the best since the goal. Delivered in by Murrell, floated well, Zane Owen here to Keating! Saved exceptionally well by Balcom and cleared away by Bowl. Still, juniors are waiting Jeffrey Mogger to come on the pitch, by the way. The man who made the team of the year, of course, and played in the All-Stars too. Haven't brought his firepower on just yet. To Harvey. Recognised number 9, the first perhaps since really Mirza Madanovic, you might remember. Gatsby battling for the ball. There he is. Still he goes. Ooh. Corner it'll be, it seems. No, just a goal kick. Creek trying to play quickly here. Keating, great touch. Here to Pius Baragi. Clipped by Pombart, and then Murrell avoids the referee there. Back here to Andrew Cotton. Sends that wide with his left foot. Wrong pass. Or at least wrong execution. Pius Baragi there. Back to goal. Not really where you want him. Here he goes to Captain Alex Murrell. Gatsby Gray done well there. Slipped it out wide to Soldan. He's not the quickest, but he is very technical. And he's going to cut past one. Then past. In fact, that's Aiden Hughes, forgive me, who is a bit more quick, but that time he showed plenty of technical prowess. So much space. Owen is onside. Even looked at the referee for a second. That's how much time he's got. Zane Owen. Zane Owen across the face of goal. Snuffed out well. Keating's there. Ooh, nutmegs his man Salinas. Here is Hambo Hamilton. Never going to beat Surgeon when he has a mark on you. A yard, I should say. Pombart past him. Could be a yellow. It won't be that. Professional foul. Timbos, I think, is one of the kids from Quakers who has a lot of potential to be a real solid servant for many a year. Salinas, good challenge there by Zedric Catley-Bond. There is a huge, not that you're going to be able to see, there's a huge fog out past near the Wanderers NPL homeland, and I'm wondering if that might eventually spread across to here. It's a pretty winless night as Gatsby Gray. That's been blocked by Spud Polinsky off his mate there. It's been picked up here by Kurt Elbra. But the futsal technician couldn't quite get it under control. Centre weight. Quakers Juniors using their numerical advantage to their, well, advantage. Matthew Pombart, Salinas. These two have been balling in Quakers green for so long, though in this man too, Soul Surgeon, he's part of that. Timbos, back behind the halfway line to find Soul Surgeon, who's playing as a centre-back now, the captain. Poor pass though, snuffed out there by McLucky. And now a chance for Creek. Where's Pius Baraji? He's defending. Well, Murrell has the ball now. If Baraji was the one running in behind, there would have been an even greater chance to put an incisive pass towards him. Baraji is there and cleared away by Timbos off his weaker right boot. To Harvey. Salinas to Harvey on debut. Can he get a little touch off to his left because Hughes was there? Elbra. That's better. Look at the space here for Keating. And the team down to 10 are strutting their stuff. Baraji up in the sky. Falls kindly here for Creek. A chance out wide for Liam Hamilton. Steered towards goal. Never going to be much trouble for a competent keeper like Nick Balcom. Speaking of goalkeepers, there's been a change at Ponds. Long-time servant, multiple-time grand final appearance maker, Ada Mantaroglu, has left the Ponds, and he's going to take up a spot out in all age. But just wanted to use this opportunity as a guy who watches the matches around regularly to thank a very good servant to the Premier League. Very, 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 very good keeper with his save in the grand final, which, yes, they did go on to lose to no fault of his own, but his save in the grand final against Marion back in 23 off of Gabriel de Oliveira is one that sticks in the memory and has for a long, long time. Capable of some really sensational stuff. So, farewell, but hopefully not for long. I want to see you back on Match of the Round soon. I wonder who will be for. Thank you for your time. Monty Bowl. Pius Baraji pressing down on Balcom, who's wearing a hat despite the fact it's nearly 9 o'clock at night. Two-thirds of the way through the game, and now finally they're going to make some tactical substitutions, not a forced one. Eastern Creek are going to mix it up a little bit as they chase a chance to retain their position in the top four. A reminder, of course, that the table will read Quakers Juniors on 13 points. That will put them just 3 behind Ponds, and it will put them 2 above Creek. So they will finish in the finals spots come the end of this round. If this game finishes like this, work is still to play tomorrow, though, could change things as well. A win would put them 2 points from Ponds and 1 above Quakers if everything stays the way it does. Cleared away by Ryder, cleverly put to his left boot, which is his strongest one. Chance here, straight away, off of the bench. Past his man, was he brought down? What's the colour of the card? This time I'm sure it's a yellow. Timbos cannot, in fact he should walk away, do not argue it, you're lucky it's that. Carlos Ribeiro straight off the bench and straight into a huge moment in the match. And now he stands over this free kick, does Ribeiro. Him and his brother joined, I do believe, didn't get a chance to chat to them pre-game, but I do believe it was from ropes crossing last year. So, Ribeiro off the bench, standing over a free kick some 30 to 35 yards from goal. Oh, perhaps 20 to 25, 25 to 30, I should say. Two hands on hips like Messi, but he's right-footed. Three-man wall and Balcom to beat. It's Ribeiro into the wall. Ribeiro again, out wide by the 26-year-old. Into the box and away by Ball. Chance here for Creek. Handball is the call. Struck from distance. Creek can appeal all they like, but if his hands was by his frame, it is not a penalty in the laws of the game. Let's have a look at it on replay. Oh, it depends which hand it hit. So one hand was across his chest, the other was a little far from it. You'll have to slow it down because I can't tell, and I've already missed a red card today, so my eyes are clearly not working. If his hands were by his chest and it hit the hand that was across his chest, then sure, no penalty. But if it was the one that had frayed slightly from his body, then there's arguments to be made. You guys screenshot it, slow it down, send it to me, and we'll talk about it on the podcast. It was the man who just came off the bench, by the way, who had that pot shot from distance in the 6th jersey match on debut for Tohan Fadlala. In that number 6 match of the round debut. Actually started in their last match. Well, Eastern Creek have really had their finger on the pulse despite everything that's happened to them in this match. Quakers Juniors had so many chances in the opening 10 to 15 minutes of this second stanza. They didn't take their chances, and this game is still very much in the balance. Haven't gone to their subs bench just yet, but at what point does Julian Bombach say something needs to change? Ball in behind. Haven't really made a chance since Gatsby Gray had that big cross headed over. Gatsby Gray on cue gives it away. Question come through our live chat, is that Carlos Ribeiro who was playing in Portugal a couple of years ago? Potentially. Not quite sure. Didn't have the chance to speak to him before the match. I was too busy getting beat 5-0 within 60 minutes in my all-age men's 7 match in Hills District, which was rather quite humbling. Fadlala. Ribeiro subs combining here. Ribeiro been right in the thick of it, wins another free kick. Got the better of Pombard of all people there. Plenty of fun stuff happening in our Facebook live chat right now. I encourage you to get among it. Well, this is surely too far for Ribeiro to think about a pot shot from distance. But he's going to line up like Roberto Carlos here. He will strike a goal and it goes harmlessly over. Almost 70 minutes played here at Blacktown Football Park on a day that's going to have Eastern Creek drop out of the final spots and Quakers Juniors for the first time, and I'm happy to be corrected, but it's a wild guess. I would say probably about 700 to 800 days jumping into the top 4. At least outside of round 1 this year where they won their first game. Picked up here by Ribeiro. Chance for Creek, who would have deserved a goal at this point. Ribeiro a bit too selfish there. Perhaps the rush of blood got to him. Oh, what a slip and a miss. To Harvey, slipped over. Is that Jeff Mogga onto the pitch now? I think it is. To Harvey on debut. Was he brought down? Maybe he was looking for the foul. Probably took a tumble in the sleets across this pitch. Eastern Creek not out of this one. Ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere. Match far from over. Contest far from decided. Pomba steps in. Zane Owen there now. Gatsby Gray. I think Keating got hit in the ribs, which is where he's been injured recently. That's why he's gone down. He's back to his feet now. Fadlala, athletic, into the sky. In fact, it was Pius Baraji. What is Pius Baraji doing at left back? Interesting. Well, a new position for the two-time match of the round goal scorer. Gatsby Gray. Jeff Mogger. All-star rep. The only one of last year. Soldan, the difference maker in this game. Free kick given away by the kid. Subs a foot. Or perhaps we're looking for a ball, in fact. So unless my dribble is incorrect, they've only got one more sub, which is Scotty Mead. To Eastern Creek. That's the depth of their injury concerns. That's the depth of their lack of depth, perhaps. Gatsby Gray. There is Murrell. To Harvey trying to win it off him. To Harvey pressing hard. Scored 7 goals, got 10 assists in his social all-age men's league before he transferred here to the big time. Lovely there by Gatsby Gray, who's made amends for his quote-unquote pretty terrible performance against Eastern Creek earlier in the year. That's his words, not mine. Monty Bowl. Pomba, loose touch by him, but he's got under control, being closed down by Pius Baraji, who's now back to his typical higher position. Soldan has got past his man by hook or by crook. Goes back to the halfway line. Pomba is there. 18 minutes left to go of regular time. Tahavi is there. Cedric Catley-Bond put his head where others wouldn't put their feet. Good touch there by Salinas. Want to see him take control of the ball a little bit more, Salinas. Chance here for juniors. Real chance here for juniors. Real chance here for Tahavi over. Always going over. Quote coming in from our Facebook live chat, number 45, got to get involved. That's Alex Murrell, by the way, the captain of the side of Eastern Creek. Forward there by Keating. Hambo Hamilton across the face. Surgeon slipped. Baraji sent it to the moon. Wow. Brilliant stuff. That is Blacktown Premier League football at its finest. Added to the highlights reel of great moments. Wow, it actually went out of frame. Don't forget, of course, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, if you could leave a like on the stream, that lets us know that you're enjoying not just the game, but the production behind it, what you hear and see as well. And a chance. Leave a like if you like goals too. Soldan. Got each other's arms there. Who will actually get the free kick here? Well, they're going to say, and I think rightly so, they've got each other's arms there. It's going to be Quakers Juniors who... Yes, Quakers Juniors are the ones who actually copped the yellow card. And Soldan specifically it is.
It was pretty cool when we went the other week. We had the
There's a wheelie up Eastern Road. Wouldn't be a match of the round without it. I actually think Eastern Creek are playing a little bit less direct than what I've seen in recent years under previous coaches. I'd have to be honest, they're playing with a bit more short ball intent, despite, as well, of course, being down to 10 men, which they have been for the majority of the game now. Past Governor Mogga. Chance. Snuffed out by Timbos. Could be lucky you have no penalty against him about 10 minutes ago or so. It's well done there by Fadlala. It's almost like this Eastern Creek team have interchangeable positions. Pius Baraji's now back at this sort of left back, and Tohan Fadlala's now up where Pius Baraji just was. Keating, who's an attacker, is playing as the 6. Spud Polinsky's gone from right back to left back, Elborough from left back to right back. I can't keep up. Gatsby Gray was hurt there. That ball went out for touch. Still a one-goal game despite the one-man difference. Quakers Juniors will be ruining the missed chances or the lack of chances created considering their advantage should they not get full 3 points out of this. All of the stuff that Julian Bombach talked about in the pre-match podcast is going to be tested right here. How much do they want finals? How much do they really want to prove that they belong in that crop? It's going to be put to the test here by a resolute Creek side who refuse to give up no matter what. Look at how hard they're still running. Gatsby Gray. Out wide, Soldan. Away. Oh, swing and a miss there by Murrell. 13 minutes left to go. Forgive me, my voice is starting to betray me as Gatsby Gray looks to put it across the face of goal, and it's going to be a goal kick at the end of the day. Salinas goes all the way back to Sol Surgeon, his captain, of course. Took over from Ash Coy a number of years ago, who still watches all these live streams, particularly these Quakers ones. Mogga past his man. There would have been a yellow card challenge. Advantage played on, though. I'm not sure how much of an advantage they really got. Could they make one here? Taken off of Monidal Bowl. Gatsby Gray, pass 1. Gatsby Gray, pass 2. Can he facilitate a play? Still on he goes. Gatsby Gray still. A little swing and a miss. Down he goes looking for a foul. Isn't going to get it. Still Quakers Juniors. It's Bowl. Wow, right into the head there of a very brave Spud Polinsky. Broke his toe earlier in the season. Still he voyages on. Lovely footwork there by one of the Futsal Australia representatives. No problems, by the way, Ash Coy, for your shout-out. You deserve it. You're a two-time match of the round goal scorer, my friend, and captain of a good team who used to finish in the finals. You deserve the shout-out. Hope we one day get to see you back. Soldan football across the face of goal. Just responding to live chats, by the way. If you leave them in there without swear words, we'll of course talk about them. That's the beauty of our league. Zane Owen strikes one from distance. A bit of a nothing strike there. Couple subs coming. Zane Owen off. Most likely played a stint in the 21s earlier in the week, where Rowan Iski picked up his 5th yellow of the season, and the Quakers' top goal scorer wasn't able to feature today. Looks like Salinas is coming off as well. We'll see who's about to come on in their place. Big strong header there, won by Keating. Oh, big coming together there in the sky. Gatsby Gray goes down with Pius Baraji. So Riley Stockdale has come on. Been a while since he's been around the match of the round proceedings. I believe his last match was in the Tigers derby. Stockdale now a 22-year-old natural 6, deputising as a right back here though. And in his youth he scored a 40-yard screamer against Blacktown City, formerly of Winston Hill's Premier League system. This is his now 2nd year at the club. But the concern here is for Gatsby Gray, who took a head knock and has stayed down since, in a spot that's been cursed tonight with bad challenges. Yeah, real concern for one of the best players out there tonight. And it was completely unintentional. Of course, all this time will be added on in due course. Still yet to confirm who has changed with Salinas for Quakers Juniors. Luckily, Gatsby Gray is okay. Eight minutes left to go in regular time. Salinas still on the pitch, actually. Maybe he was trudging over, not to be subbed off, but to occupy the left-hand side now, which is where he picked up that one match of the round goal that he's got. Off of Ribeiro, as that ball was meant to be played all the way back to Balcom. A strange little moment there in the match of the round. So Harvey tries to pirouette into space, but Zedric Catley-Bond is not only strong, but real quick. He always has been an underrated athlete. Well, Eastern Creek talked so much about their inability to put the ball in the back of the net this season. There's been times where they've flooded teams with multiple goals, but as David Mead comes on as the only available sub still to do, which he was actually one of the one of the first players to ever score a BDSFA live stream match of the round goal. I believe he was the 2nd or 3rd goal scorer in a day where they put Minchbury Jets to the sword in their debut on the live stream, and my debut as well. It was far less loud back in those days. Eastern Creek still ever the entertaining team though, half a decade on. Big challenge by not David Mead, forgive me, Scotty Mead, I'd have to say. Scott Mead would be the Quakers player. I believe David Mead's someone who scored one of the greatest NRL tries of all time. In good company, though, that surname. Soldan past him, poor pass to him though. Sorry, says Gatsby Gray. This will go long by Ryder. He's got a brilliant boot on him. One there by Murrell. There is Gatsby Gray though. Well done there by Riley Stockdale. Puts it into touch and over the fence. Eastern Creek are going to have to dig real deep here. Very long throw. One there by Stockdale. Wins a throw. Off Murrell. Heavy strapping on both the calves there. He's been struggling with Achilles issues all year. Has Alex Murrell, but both calves strapped. Catley Bond. Kurt Elbra, one of my favourite attackers, playing as left back because he's got technical ability like that. Tohan Fadlala. Picked up there by Pombart. Didn't even have to move for it. Lovely work there by Salinas, dropping in deep to receive. Ball in behind, chance for Quakers to seal this victory and earn a place in the top four side, netting nearly an own goal by Fadlala. Wow. Oh, so close there. 4 minutes left to go in regular time. Chance here. Gatsby Gray threatening. It's beyond him. Down he went. Soldan scored one. The only one. Mogga. Soldan. Pombart. Not a regular goal scorer. Not a regular loose touch of the ball either. Keating with a Trivela. Pombart. Not fouled. Shoulder to shoulder. Sent into the night sky. Away. Another sub here to come. I believe that's Logan Van Klooster. Still 21's eligible for another couple of years. One club man is Logan Van Klooster. Recently got his forearm sleeve done at the start of the year, just in time it was healed to participate in the full season. He plays 21s and a bit of resis and a bit of first every single week. They obviously believe in blooding him in as quickly as they can. Here is Big Logan. Strange throw in there. Keating flicks it on. Baraji, like a seal, heading it up, and then forward. Cody Elbra. Crossfield switch, under hit. Boll picked it up. There was Scotty Mead. Keating out wide. Ribeiro. Carlos Ribeiro. Still. Long throw in here to come. An Eastern Creek specialty in years gone by. A bit under hit though. Towards the edge of the box. Ball delivered back in. It's super high. Well won header. Van Klooster is there. Struck towards goal again. It's not quite a shot or a cross. Cleared away by Quakers, who have less than 90 seconds to defend this victory. Wow, this is good to watch. A one-goal game between these two. Another long throw to come in here. Long throw it is. Flicked on, headed towards goal, into the chest of Nick Balcom, who makes a diving save to calm things down. We are now teetering on the end of 90 regular minutes. Forward, picked up by Scotty Mead. Eastern Creek might have another chance to come forward here. They've been so brave, down a man all in this second half. One of those times where you say you don't even notice the difference between the two teams. Eastern Creek maybe had the better of the two halves. Tohan Fadlala gets it out of his feet. Poor pass though with the toe punt. Although here, not quite flicked back. Tahavi and Mogga there. Catley Bond all on his own wins the free kick. What are they doing there? Oh, and a little throw into the back. Can't do that. Yellow card. He's already won the foul, Zedrick. You don't need to worry about it anymore, my friend. Never shy of a yellow card is Zedrick Catley Bond. Scored 1 goal in his last 9 seasons of football, but certainly got plenty of yellows in that time. There's another one to add to the list. The tally. Pombart over his head. Pombart now back involved. Arms clearly been pulled there. Switch to Monty Bowl. We're already into the second minute of added on time. Anything here is at the discretion of Antonio Perello. A chance to seal the victory. Big chance here. It's their last year's player of the year. A little slip. There was a pull in the box there on Tahavi by Polinsky. They're going to appeal, but to no avail. Creek survive. Cleared away Ryder. Maybe one final chance for the Creek. Quakers calling for some numbers back. Surgeon in hard. Clear yellow card. That was always going to happen there. Little smack in there. Leave a little dent on his brilliant opponent, Pius Baragi. Into nearly the third minute of added on time. What's happening in the box? Wow, Polinsky and Balcom doing a little tango. This is it. This is potentially the final series on the line. More arms throwing around. Got to be careful here, both teams. Don't let it end the way the first half did. This is everything for Quakers. Creek not bringing their goalkeeper forward. Scotty Mead still deep. Ball delivered in. Cleared away. Bodies thrown everywhere. Oh, he's gone down. Potentially simulation. No yellow card given. Was looking for the penalty there. There's a ball here on the halfway line. Braden Keating of Creek will have to run and get it. Helped slightly there by Cuevas, the assistant referee. Into nearly the 4th minute of added on time. How much longer will this go on? Polinsky's got a mammoth throw on him. This could decide who finishes in the finals. Very long throw, cleared away Pombart. Brave header, back in Polinsky. Oh, it's looking dangerous. It's right there! They've done it! The late goal match of the round specialists do it! Down a man, they never ever gave up. They never ever gave up. And they found a point, a brave point, a point that they'll look on potentially if this season ends with a final series, showing with great admiration what a performance to rescue some points as Quakers throw it away against the set-piece specialists. The Polinsky long throw has spoiled the junior party. And that was literally the last kick of an incredible footballing match that will have major repercussions, probably for both teams on the final series. At the end of the day, the team that benefits most from this is Blacktown Workers. Angry people at Quakers Juniors, unhappy with the way that this game ended, showing their frustrations. and totally...
Tease my ass, mate. You did table my ass.
Hey, DePaul, do you get paid cash for comments?
Plenty of contributions down from the chirpy bunch below us. They're all welcome here. It's the Little Creek that could here on this Saturday night. Down some 6 season-ending injuries who rescue a point in the match of the round. You'll see them back here in a couple of weeks too. They'll be featuring again soon to talk about all things in this match of the round. A couple of years ago in PL2, they won it very, very late. A man who came and scored off the bench, you might remember a long, long time ago against Prospect. Now, with 10 men, they do it even better. Well, we'll see you next time, ladies and gentlemen. I told you there'd be goals in this one. It's 2 games this year between these 2 teams that finish 1-1. But Quakers Juniors will certainly feel like it was taken away from them. But Creek, that is a performance to be proud of. See you next time, guys.